I'm really sorry for waiting until now to... Elio only gave me one instruction. Allow the Astral Express to pursue the Grand Legacy. It means that the Watchmaker's legacy holds great significance to trailblazing. Elio's scripts used to revolve and expand around certain specific Stellarons. But with your appearance, this condition has apparently ceased to be appropriate. Perhaps he also saw the impossible in the future. Do you still remember that medical cabin I told you about? Well, that's Sam. It belongs to the Iron Cavalry of Glamoth's Firmament Frontline. A Firefly Type 4 Tactical Heavy Assault Mech. It is the cradle of my vitality. And the meaning of my birth. And for the longest time it was... how I should have looked to the rest of the world. Two reasons. Firstly, the script. In the future that Elio saw, Sam and the Astral Express's confrontation was inevitable. That aside, there were also my personal motives. Thank you. The timescale of Dreamflux Reef differs from reality, so we mustn't lower our guard. You're sensitive to Memoria. A slight misstep, and you could get lost in this memory zone.
Stream 4, the gleam of old blades. Stream 4, gleam of old blades.
Keep going straight down this alley, and it'll lead to an elevator. It'll take us to the center of the land of the exiles.
Stream forth the gleam of old blades.
What a huge clocky. Looks like the watchmaker also left his mark on Dreamflux Reef.
Stream forth the gleam of old blades.
Unbelievable. To think there's a settlement of this size within the dreamscape, and all beyond the family's reach. The atmosphere in this fortress is pretty different from that in the beautiful dream.
When I first saw it, I was in awe too. The sky here, it's like a reflection. What's even more bizarre is that this place is also separated into trade and residential areas.
Though both dreamscapes have but there's no point in overthinking things. Let's meet up with Himiko.
Take a right turn at the end of this road and you'll reach the trade.
Not coming with us?
The Astral Express likely needs room for some internal deliberation. In the meantime, I'll try and locate Gallagher.
Sure. Let's reconnect later. Letting her go was the right decision. Further observations are needed before we decide whether to trust her. First, there is someone I need to talk to. Let's go. I'm sure you've already noticed him. Reverie Hotel's bellboy. How did he end up here? And right after Miss Acheron severed the beautiful dream. We'd better check.
For me, it's perfectly legal for me to stay.
Stream 4. The gleam of old blades. The gleam of old blades. Stream 4. The gleam of old blades. Stream 4. The gleam of old blades.
Let's see how you handle a stroke of genius like this.
I knew you couldn't hold your liquor.
Stream 4. Gleam of old blades. Stream 4. The gleam of old blades.
Oh, at this rate, the family will be done for. Done for!
Stream 4. Gleam of old blades. forth the gleam of old blades.
I'm just a wallflower.
You're the guest from before. We meet again! And a new friend. Forgot to introduce myself. I'm the hotel's bellboy, miHoYo.
Hello, Misha. I'm well. And who might this be?
Tick-tock! Old friend and new friend! Let's...
You're,
Nope. Clocky is a good friend of mine. We all How did you two get here?
So, this...
Yep. After my work in the beautiful Dream ends, I'll go back home. Commuting used to be more convenient, but ever since travel became cumbersome, Sleepy started ferrying people back and forth between the two dreamscapes.
This... Sleepy. Can you describe what it looks like?
Sleepy is a memory zone meme. Looks fierce and has many eyes. But it's actually really well behaved. Gallagher's been taking care of it.
Based on the description, that meme is indisputably death. A nightmare for the family, but for the people who live here, well, that couldn't be...
Death? Not in a dream, surely. Sleepy's just a little aggressive, and sometimes messes up by fetching the wrong guess. But it would never hurt anyone.
I see. Has it brought back any guests?
I see. Then you'll have to speak with Gallagher. But he's currently busy hosting a visitor from the Oak family. Is it Miss Robin?
Just as I thought.
If you're looking for Miss Robin, I can lead the way. She told me that she'd be willing to meet with outside guests.
If it's not too much trouble. Also, we're looking...
Oh, I haven't. How about this? Since it's your... She's gone to Mrs. Gray's...
All right, then. Well, we now know the answer to both murder cases that have caused such commotion in Penacony. As for the intentions of the mastermind behind it all, we're still... Yes, that's my thinking as well. I'm not entirely certain, but we still have to find him one way or another. Say, you mentioned... I can't shake off this strange feeling. Forget it. It's not important. We'd better just follow Misha.
Everyone, look!
A black hole? No. An accretion disk formed from consolidated memoria? Was Dreamflux Reef?
Oh, so Mr. Yang is also versed in memoria dynamics. I was just trying to figure out how to explain this huge hole to everyone. I bet you guys have a lot in common with Miss... Look! There she is!
My calculations are finally done. Who are you all, and why haven't you left yet? This... I'm Kami, a dreamscape. See that huge gaping hole? It was just a narrow rift many years ago, but now it's grown into a giant hole. The surrounding memoria has been flowing towards the other end of the hole at a constant velocity, slowly, but the scary part is, according to my calculations, the flow rate of memoria has recently changed, and it's faster than ever before. It's almost as if something is sucking it in by constantly improving upon Madame Rosalina's memoria. After 10 system hours, the Dreamflux Reef will cease to exist. Just like the melting of glaciers, everything will crumble.
Please don't worry. This sort of thing has happened many times before. Miss Kami isn't a bad person. She's just a bit...
You don't say. There was something else that piqued my interest. Who is Madame Rosalina?
Oh, do you know her too? Or are you also a fan of memoria?
We're very interested in Madame Rosalina's achievements. Could you...
Why, of course! She's an excellent scholar of memoria dynamics, and the first person to... Regrettably, due to the presence of the Garden of Recollection, ordinary people don't pay much attention to... I came to Penacony to learn more about my idol, and went to great lengths to seek out Dreamflux Reef. Oh, I felt it. The source is in...
Does the name Madame Rosalina sound familiar? That's right. It seems like she did a great deal of research and calculations in Dreamflux Reef before abruptly passing away.
Miss Kami regularly mentions her. I hear Madame Rosalina passed away during the prison war. She could see the Penacony of today. Its people. Our destination is the commercial district. That's where the largest crowds gather in Dreamflux Reef. We might be able to find the others there.
Let me... Ghost, there's a goat!
Oh my. I'm human and so are you. Can you get a... Mr. Yang and Miss Trailblazer, I've been waiting for you. Quickly, come help. I bumped into a member of the family on the way here. He was so scared and I just want to...
Let me go! Let me go! I've only done good in my life!
Well, this is how it... Ha ha, he thinks he's dead.
Dear guest,
That's right.
You're talking to someone invisible. If I'm not dead, what am I? Stop asking! You'll alert the monsters! All the dead are right here.
You're not talking about the memory...
Don't say that name!
Good times never last. Time to say bye. Boom.
He passed out. His intense negative emotions attracted the nearby memory zone memes.
I see. But
unlike in the Sweet Dream, people here don't see memory zone memes as dangerous monsters. And even if they pose a threat, people can easily escape by forcing a wait. But we can't just leave this man here. Can we take him somewhere safe?
we can ask Jessie for help. I've gotten to know many locals while waiting for you guys. Everyone here is living a self-sufficient life. I don't know how to describe it, but this place feels like the real dreamscape.
the gleam of old blades.
At this rate, the family will be done for! Done for!
I knew you couldn't hold your liquor. Tried to warn you, too.
Evening, Jessie.
Welcome, Miss March. Who might...
These two are my friends. As for the man lying on the ground, he's a scaredy cat who fainted.
I see. Another poor guy who accidentally ended up here. I'll take care of him. There have been a lot of new faces lately. Things must be tough in the beautiful dream. The few remaining havens of freedom in Asdana will soon...
Do such things often?
Not really, but they're becoming more frequent now. Guess it's one of the signs of the Sweet Dreams collapse. This man has had quite the shock. Could you help me find a Halovian lady, March? Her songs can heal mental wounds.
A Halovian?
That must be Robin. She's also here in...
Huh? Robin? But I thought she... Oh, right. If Firefly is here safe and sound...
Misha is about to take us to her to find out what happened. But before that, let's meet up with Himiko.
We met some stowaways in the residential area. Most of them came from neighboring star systems. I heard that places like Dreamflux Reef are scattered throughout the memories of Asana, like islands in the... I also heard that when Dreamflux Reef took shape...
If that's true, it's no wonder there are so many similarities.
Himiko must be gathering information. This is where we split up. She...
So that's how it is. I never imagined we'd gather the remaining details here.
To borrow Gallagher's catchphrase, what an unpredictable...
Himeko! Here they are!
Ah, perfect timing. Now that everyone's here, I'd like to introduce everyone to Micah, who's partly in charge of the Land of the Exiles. Micah, these are my companions.
It's a pleasure to...
You know us?
I've been keeping an eye on you since the day you arrived in Penacony. We would have met under more appropriate circumstances if Dreamflux Reef hadn't been isolated from the 12 dreamscapes. Please, allow me to formally introduce myself. I'm Micah, the Gravekeeper of Dreamflux Reef.
Grave?
Life in Dreamflux Reef is pretty liberating. Everyone here mostly keeps to themselves, without meddling in others' affairs. My daily task and...
You're too modest, Micah. When lost dream chasers stumble upon this place, you're the one who takes care of them, guiding them back to the sweet dream, or showing them how to survive the wild dream chaos.
So, guard? Were you talking to me?
On that note, Mr. Mika, which tombstones are you referring to? We didn't come across any graveyard.
They're actually just symbolic stones. But since you're curious, Mr. Yang, I'll take you there. I have a... but before that, you have an important guest.
An important guest? Who could it be?
This way, please. The roads here in Dreamflux Reef are a bit run down, so watch your step.
Stream 4. Stream 4.
There she is.
Everyone sang so wonderfully. It's not a...
Oh, I can't thank you enough, Rob.
It was nothing, Grace. I merely taught them how to sing. Life must be quite difficult for them and
That's right.
Whenever it's time to say goodbye to these kids, they're reluctant to leave. But I've explored every corner of...
It's Emma and Andy are orphans I took under my wing. Carol there, with her blind eyes, used to work at a nutrition center in the outer ring of Penacony. And as for Gary, he's been living with autism since he was a child. They're not old enough to enter the sweet dream managed if we compare people to birds. These kids are like fledglings with impaired wings. But in this dream, well, they can fly freely. Even if they stumble along the way, well, they're still relying on and me, an old lady with no legs.
I'm glad that you found a new life.
Don't worry, Robin. Dreams have their significance, but they aren't everything. Both the children and I understand this. No matter how long we fly through this dream, we will one day return. But you know what? Emma and Gary aren't plagued by their insecurities anymore. No, and Carol is learning how to cope with her blindness. And Andy is livelier than ever. Well, even I've become more optimistic. You see, in dreams, we learn how to live. Once we...
And should our feathers be damaged, there's no need to covet an illusory sky in dreams. Because we have the...
It's a relief to see you safe and sound, Miss Robin.
It's nice to see you all again, Astral Express crew. I heard my disappearance caused quite the commotion out there. I'm really sorry about that.
Since you're here, can we assume that you're...
Ever since I returned to Penacony, my voice started to change, until it gradually faded away. At first, I thought it was a temporary ailment, perhaps due to having been away too long. I thought maybe it just takes some time for my body to... But now it seems... the root of the problem goes way beyond me. There are elements around me that don't align with the harmony. And losing my voice is just one of the signs of
the sweet dreams collapse. That memo keeper...
While I was away from Penacony, the boundaries of the 12 dreamscapes kept expanding outward. But whenever I mentioned the anomalies in my dreams, All the family heads refused to talk about it. Only my brother was. Later, I discovered the secret letters from the IPC ambassador, which further convinced me that there are hidden secrets beneath the surface of Penacony. So, following the clues in the land of the exiles, concealed by the family under the guise of death. A dream within a dream, where Penacony's past is buried.
Hearing you speak, it sounds as if your voice has made somewhat of a recovery.
I hate to admit it, but the harmony in this place resonates more broadly than within the sweet dream. It's regrettable, but the family has experienced betrayal. The traitor, or traitors, abandoned their original principles and, using the name of harmony, this is not the strong defending the weak.
Could there be another force influencing the families? Considering what happened with Acheron, it's difficult to conceive of another entity within the realm of the harmony capable of influencing everyone.
I'd heard about what happened to the Xianzhou Alliance, but as far as I'm aware, the family hasn't faced any such external interventions. Who knows? Regardless, I cannot accept my home is moving towards the very opposite of what the harmony represents. While still, I must uncover the reason why Mikhail cut ties with the family, and who exactly it was who betrayed us all. I've decided to forgo my role, and never step foot on the Charmony Festival stage again.
Look here, brother. A little bird.
Looks like a fledgling Charmony dove, but Charmony doves don't live here. So how did this little bird get here?
It looks weak and frail. Why don't...
This place is too dangerous for a fledgling. Let's take it with us. We can put it on...
Okay. A bird like that must have a beautiful singing voice.
I'll ask the family head to build...
A cage?
Let's see. What is it that has captured the attention of the two best interpreters of the Great One? Oh, poor little thing.
I do.
Why?
Even if it's small and not fully feathered, and can't sing, birds, they should be flying free.
That's quite the romantic idea.
I think she's right. But if we leave it out in the...
Ah, I see. As you probably know, we've seen this spec. Their ancestors were too weak to survive after countless attempts by many generations. One of them...
So, you mean... birds aren't born to fly, but they find a...
Well, that's an idealistic way of putting it.
I think people believe birds are meant to fly because... they've never seen those birds crashing to their death.
That's an interesting perspective.
For now, I'll keep it in a cage until it can take care of itself because I want it to live.
Well said, kids. It seems each of you has found your own answer. Your insights are truly...
We will take good care of it.
Yeah, but Mr. Gopherwood, there's one thing I don't quite understand.
And what might that...
What if this little Charmony dove never learns to I mean, should we let them go back to the...
Talking in your sleep, birdie? Huh? Need a hand? Yeah. Happy about that.
Where is Robin?
I knew that was going to be the first thing you'd ask. Don't worry, your sister is here, safe and sound. She's probably walking around the streets now. If I were you, I'd be more worried about myself. After all, right in front of you is the guy who just stabbed you in the chest with a dagger.
If you wanted to kill me, you wouldn't give me the chance to speak. Just tell me your...
So, you figured out who I am, huh? No wonder you had the guts to go against the Dream Master and the Four Families. Looks like I made the right choice. You are aware of my plan and see through my act. Time is running out, so let's drop the charades. I'm suggesting we cooperate.
Cooperate?
The fact that the famous Robin has chosen my side. Plus, some clues about a traitor and a bright future for Penacony.
I find it hard to believe a man who's full of...
Fine. You don't have to trust me. What you should, the sense of justice inside.
Show me Robin first.
All right, as you wish.
Huh?
What's your trick this time?
Just kidding. I mean, this lady will lead us to Robin, right?
And the crew, too. There are too many people who you owe an explanation.
That'd be great. Please follow me, Honorable Oak family head. Now, all the actors are on.
This is the monument I mentioned earlier. The names inscribed on it should be familiar to all of you.
Rosalina and Tiernan.
When Penacony was known as a frontier prison, it was the Trailblazers who connected it with the stars. They were the heroes who saved Astana, and their names deserve to be immortalized, not just on the small stone tablet, but in the annals of history for all of time. However, today, the planet of festivities is nothing but sweet dreams. That heavy piece of history.
If their names are inscribed here...
According to Micah, they died long ago.
Rosalina was killed during the War of Independence. She ventured alone into the heart of the star system to investigate the flow of Memoria, but Tiernan was a skilled gunslinger, strong and reliable. He led the people through countless battles, but he didn't live long enough to witness the arrival of true peace. In the decade following the war, Penacony faced challenges internal and external. To protect Astana, Tiernan took up the way of the Trailblaze and led the Lampmoth family to explore beyond the system, only to be surrounded and wiped out by the swarm.
Though I had expected as much, the tales of these heroes truly...
True to the title of Trailblazer, they spent their lives venturing into the unknown. But what about this tablet?
When Dreamflux Reef was created, its owner was still alive. However, he insisted on erecting a monument for himself, saying that it will happen someday. Here we meet again. Everyone from the Astral Express.
Robin.
I brought Gallagher here.
Huh. The atmosphere sure is...
Well, I did my job. I gathered everyone.
Brother.
There's no need for words.
Brother.
There's no need for words. You're safe.
I promised to give the siblings some privacy, so let's talk about our business first.
That sounds sensible enough. Since you went through the trouble of gathering the family head, the crew, and the Stellaron hunters, I'm guessing you have something important to say?
Oh? Is it that obvious?
The look on your face is practically...
Your siblings already know what they need to, and they've made their choice. But you, Nameless, arrived a bit late. So it's only fair that I answer your questions. Before we begin, let me reintroduce myself. I'm the founder of Dreamflux Reef, the deputy of the Watchmaker, and the one who sent out that invitation. As Gallagher, the history fictionologist, I humbly extend my greetings to you all.
History fictionologist? So what? Everything you...
Well, don't worry. Almost everything I shared was true. Well, except for the part about the family accepting me back.
I double-checked with Micah, and everything he said about the family, the Watchmaker, and Mikhail is true.
Thank you for your understanding. Now let's get down to business. I'm sure you're all wondering why I went through the trouble of setting up this battle for the legacy. Well, it all boils down to something very familiar to all of you. The Stellaron.
The Stellaron? But how is that possible? Penacony is a free-flowing interstellar hub.
You're totally correct. So, care to take a guess at... Well, what should I say? I expected nothing less from the person here who is the most familiar with Stellarons. The sweet dream doesn't come out of thin air. If you think of the memory zone as the sea, creating the land of the dreams is like filling that wild ocean with earth to make an island. To achieve this feat, without the help of an emanator of remembrance or enigmata, the only way is to use a Stellaron. And that's not something you can achieve with a simple wish. It requires vast quantities of knowledge, time, and manpower. I'm sure you get what I'm hinting at. In Asdana, the planet of festivities itself is a Stellaron disaster.
The planet of festivities itself is a...
It all started a long time ago, back when the Watchmaker and his crew liberated the frontier prison. They faced countless challenges as they began building Penacony from the ground up. That's when the idea of using the Stellaron came. The Stellaron first entered the Asdana system during the war. The Nameless warned everyone against the folly of attempting to tamper with such a power, and most heeded their words. But there are always people in the shadows with ulterior motives. The turning point came after Tiernan's death. With two of the Nameless gone, the Watchmaker had to go to the front lines. It was at that moment his rivals saw an opportunity. By the time a representative from the Montour System's family arrived at the Watchmaker's call, the Stellaron had already been activated and was seeping into the primordial synesthesia dreamscape.
And I suppose the family happened to possess the knowledge to seal the Stellaron?
Not just that. They knew far more about the Stellaron than the average person. They helped Mikhail swiftly quell the civil unrest and played a part in building Penacony under the disguise of the Harmony. Those 3 eras were known as the Age of Dreaming. The Watchmaker, who had been left in the dark, sent out invitations across the universe, spreading the hype around the land of the dream.
Then, how did they turn...
Remember the island in the ocean metaphor? The truth is, the Stellaron was never truly sealed. It existed in a different form within the dreamscape. Think about this. What would it cost to create and maintain such a lavish dreamland? It's people's lives. The opulent dream is built upon the decay of spirits, with a toxic elixir called pleasure flowing through the dreamscape. It tempts people to indulge in the dreamscape, and gradually their minds succumb, becoming nourishment for the sweet dream. Confusion, laziness, and cowardice, weaknesses that plague humanity, were magnified and nourished by the family. Penacony became a new kind of prison, even more impenetrable than the previous one. Sadly, we realized this far too late. By then, the family had a firm grip on Penacony, swiftly quelling any opposition. At my wit's end, I had to use the power of the Enigmata and sought refuge in this chaotic realm. Over the years, I created a meme within this dream for our use. Dormancy. That's its real name. We exploited a loophole. You see, regular people can't fall asleep again while they are inside the dreamscape.
So this is the true meaning of the impossible. You sent out invitations in the Watchmaker's name to find forces capable of resolving the Stellaron disaster and draw them in.
It's not just that. Above all, I wanted to see what happens when the major factions engage in a struggle for the legacy. Since this is the Watchmaker's first announcement in decades, the traitor within the family is bound to reveal themselves.
So, the legacy...
If you want to consider the Stellaron as the legacy, I'm totally fine with that.
If that's the case, where is the
That's a question for Mr. Wings. The Stellaron is still under the family's control, and as the head of the Oak family, I'm sure he holds all the answers.